What's going on, guys? D Cali here, and welcome to what I hope. I have no idea what I'm saying, but welcome to this talk. This. Okay, the reason you clicked on the video is because you saw the title and it said, "Is Destiny good?" With the, is it good? And I'm here to answer those questions. But before I do, I'm going to talk about the game. So, just in case you haven't gotten it yet, or you're thinking about getting it, and you stumble upon my video, then I'll tell you almost everything you need to know. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not the biggest reliable source out there. There are plenty better videos that go through this. But since I am not gonna hit a bunch of the statistics now, I'm just gonna give my personal view, and I'm going to be doing this as raw as I can. I haven't studied or I haven't rehearsed what I'm gonna say or anything. I'm just gonna have my raw opinion and my raw reaction of how it is and how I talk about this game. Now, is Destiny good? Well, let's go back to when it first came out. It came out September 9th, 2014, I believe. Yes, 2014. And it came out 2 days before my birthday. And I was pumped. I saw this game. My cousin got me to this game. Royal Godness, as you can see, he's in the gameplay video in the background right here. But anyway, that's beside the point. So he got me into this game. He said, "Dude, check it out. You should get it." So I got it 2 days after. So I didn't get it super late or anything. I got it when there was still. Oh, I'm sorry, but that was my phone. I got it when there were still bugs in the game, when there was still the what was it? The farming, all of that good stuff. All the stuff that made Destiny good. The farming, man, I can't tell you how much nostalgia that just brings to me right now. The grind, oh man. Well, I'll talk about that right now. So in those times, Destiny was a great game in my opinion. If you were to go back in time and ask me, I would say this is the best game ever at the time. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a fun game. It was reliable. It was there when I got home from school. It was there when, it's a game. It's a good game. It was a bad, excuse my language, it was a badass game. So nothing bad really happened nothing bad for the majority of that first year came out. But that same year, later, December 9th, I think, is around a couple months after, the Dark Below DLC came out. Now, again, if you were to go back in time and ask me, the Dark Below was amazing DLC. But that's because I failed to notice, or I was too blinded by how young and naive or whatever I was, which I'm not even that much older today, but I failed to realize that the Dark Below was not an expansion. It was an expansion to a certain extent. The DLC, the first DLC of the Dark Below, was $20, as well as the House of Wolves, and the Taken King, the most recent DLC, was $40. I'll go into review on those in a little bit. But the Dark Below, okay. The reason I say it's not really an expansion is because those maps and those story missions, they added those story missions, those dumb story missions that made us revisit old areas. I think there was only one new area in the whole, other than the raid, there was one new area to the story we had to go to. No, it was already in the game. We just couldn't get into it. We couldn't glitch into it because there was a lot of people glitching into the thing, into the other maps, or the House of Wolves, for example. But anyway, those areas were already in the game. They were just closed off. Which, okay, it's understandable. They had to close it out so, we couldn't glitch into it. But that's what doesn't make it an expansion. Here, take this metaphor. I think it's a metaphor. I don't know. I'm not that good in English. Anyway, take this metaphor. Say you have a cheeseburger, a loaded cheeseburger with lettuce, buns, tomato. Well, the buns are already there, but the lettuce, tomatoes, the ketchup, the mustard, the onions, all that good stuff, right? Say you have that. But let's say Destiny is that burger, that cheeseburger. And let's say the dark below was the lettuce. Well, I know what you're thinking. Well, the lettuce already comes with the cheeseburger, right? Yes, but according to Bungie or whatever, no, they took it away. They had the burger well and prepared, and in case you're not getting this, I'll explain myself afterward. But they had the burger well and prepared, but they took away the lettuce, and they made you pay extra for it. Now, what I'm trying to say is, they had Destiny, they had it complete. Everything up to the House of Wolves was supposed to be in the original game. But I don't know if it was Bungie or some other company they work with. I don't know exactly. Like I said, I don't know all the details. But they stripped that gameplay, that stuff that was originally supposed to be in the game, and marked it off as extra DLC, when in reality it was not. And the reason I know this is because when the House of Wolves came out, they released a trailer early, before the game even came out. They released a trailer where they showed the area, the reef, the new quote-unquote social space that was supposed to come off the House of Wolves. But it wasn't new, and it was supposed to be in the original game because it came out in the trailers way before the game even came out. And then they took it away, and they made us pay for it. Made us pay for something that was already in the game. Made us pay an extra $20 for that. So back to the cheeseburger metaphor or whatever. They made you pay for the lettuce and the tomato extra. They made you pay $2 extra for that. See how that doesn't make sense? Like, in the ad, it shows the whole thing, but when you actually get to the place to get it, they make you pay extra for the condiments and all that. Condiments is like the tomatoes and all that. But as in the game, they made you pay extra for the gameplay, which brought close to nothing new. They were just reskinned guns, not even original new names. There was only for the exotics, obviously, and some of the legendaries. And that's what the DLC basically was. It was just rehashed BS that they made you pay for. That was supposed to be in the original game. Now, that's what made me mad. So, fast forward a little bit to when the House of Wolves came out. Now, I tell you this right now, the House of Wolves was the DLC I was most excited for. Now, how can you not be excited? The House of Wolves, like, wolves are cool, right? Wolves are awesome. They're cool. I figured it was going to be cool. It was a DLC about the Fallen, quote unquote, on the Fallen, which, yeah, in a way it was. But that was the worst DLC that they came out with so far, was the House of Wolves. That DLC was so bad. Now, I don't know if the Prison of Elders is just one of the things that it came out with was original. I don't know if they had it before like the other stuff, but they made us pay extra for it. I don't know. Prison of Elders was nothing. It kept us busy for max a month. And we waited 4 months for this DLC to come out. And it's crazy. That DLC was the worst. It was so bad. I'm not even going to lie. It was bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was bad. I could say a lot of other things, but it was just, on the down low, it was bad. So, House of Wolves was a disappointment. It was not worth $20. It was worth maybe $10. And they made us pay $20 for that piece of crap DLC. Now, don't get me wrong. I love Destiny. Destiny is always going to have a special place in my heart. But it's not what it used to be. They changed a bunch of things. They changed like I said, they changed a bunch of things. I'm just repeating myself. It wasn't what it used to be. I don't have that nostalgic feel anymore of how when I used to play it. I don't have that like legit raid runs. That was the best part of it. Like doing the raid when I was nowhere near the level to play, and people still let me play it, which was, I don't know why, but I never understood how, or I never knew again after the first raid how it was to actually go in there with no knowledge of anything. Now you got all these guys playing, and they figure out really fast, and then they expose it to the whole world, which is okay and all fine and dandy. But it takes the fun out of the game, and I know this isn't necessarily Destiny's fault, it's people's fault, but I just felt like I had to touch upon that. So, if you get this game hoping to be, not knowing anything, not knowing anything, you're just gonna figure out everything, you're shy out of luck. Because I guarantee you somebody already knows how to do the raid. The first day it comes out, somebody beats it, and you kind of have to look up some things. Like, say you're stuck on how to get a gun or whatever. I've done it before. You look it up, but it just takes, because the only reason you look it up is because people know and people have done it. But I'm getting off topic now. So back to the original question: is Destiny good? Yes, it's good for what it was, for what it wanted to be, but it changed. Now, I'm not saying they didn't want to go this route. Of course, they probably wanted to go this route, but they sold us the BS, the quote-unquote DLCs that weren't even DLC. The only real DLC that I felt was real was the Taken King. Now, that's the most recent DLC. And the reason I say this is because they added new supers, finally. They added new supers to each of the characters. They added a new raid, which the House of Wolves did not come with a raid, which is another reason why it sucked ass. The House of Wolves did not come with a raid. It came with the stupid Prison of Elders thing, which kept us busy for a month, like I said before. Now, this one came with a raid. I personally have not played the raid. I have not completed it because of the reason that Destiny was basically ruined. And I just didn't enjoy it that much anymore. I played the story. That's what you're watching right now in the background is actually the final story mission for the Taken King. And I'm not gonna lie, it kind of brought me back to how fun it was. Like, look at them, look at the orcs just walking around the thing. And it was all fun, sure, but it just wasn't there anymore. The damage had been done already. The DLCs, now, like I said before, this DLC was probably the best one that came out. Because it had more variety. It was $40, it was double the amount. It came with the raid, obviously. It came with new story missions. It came with the backstory of who Oryx was, Crota's father, which, now that I think about it, they mentioned Oryx before in the vanilla game, like when no DLC, no nothing. They mentioned Oryx like a lot, but we didn't know who it was. So we just went with it. And the reason why I feel like this one was the best because we finally got an idea of who Oryx was. I was very curious of who Oryx was. He was always mentioned. He had like temples named after him. It was just crazy. So I was curious about who Oryx was, and now we finally got him, and it's a little bit disappointing. Oryx is a cool person, a cool thing and all, but I don't know. Now let's go over the pros and cons. One pro would be it's a very social game. Social as in you meet new people, you make new friends. I've met people in this game where I've exchanged numbers with them, like, phone numbers. Another pro would be it's a fun game. It'll keep you busy. It's something you can actually, depending on how much you like the game, you look forward to coming home or whatever after a long day and just play. It's a grind. The grind is fun to an extent. You might have to grind a lot to get something you want, but yeah. Con. It's not an RPG. It says, oh, it's an RPG. No, it has RPG aspects, like you can have like dance or social spaces. You can like dance around and stuff, say hi to people. That's pretty much it. That's all the RPG aspects to it. It's a first-person shooter. Face it. If you're looking for an RPG, get Elder Scrolls or something. Another con would be the story makes no freaking sense. The story doesn't make any sense. There have been people who have speculated what it is. I don't know. There's so many things. Maybe you can figure it out and tell me. Contact me and tell me what the original story, what the hell it's about. But anyways, guys, there's a lot more to it, but I'm running out of time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Sorry for the audio. Hopefully you bared with me, and I'll see you guys in the next one.